going to give you an update on the garden because I haven't told you anything about it for ages. So lots going on. So I think it was early in the spring the last time I showed you the garden. So there's a few things that we've done out there. Well, there's quite a lot of things that I've done. Anyway, I'll show you a few clips and then I'll show you how it is now. Or I have a couple of thank yous to say as well. Okay, you want me to pull the barrow away?
Take the barrow away.
Then, oh, ready? Say when.
Use both hands.
Right. He's got a great slab of concrete that he's taken off of the old rabbit hutches around behind the other old barn. And he's going to use this slab as a base for my new water butt. I brought this back from the UK on our recent visit. Much cheaper to buy in the UK for some reason. So yeah, I've treated myself for my birthday. Also try to fill in a big hole in the ground here as well. Alright. Oh, brilliant. So this is going to be the base for my water butt. Oh yeah, don't squish me worms, Toe. Lovely, well done. Tone's rescued a worm and put it on the garden. I'm sure there's a few more under there, but yeah, we don't want to squish them. Also, the fittings that came with the water butt, unfortunately, are totally different size to our downpipes here. So Tony's going to have to come up with a scheme. Can I help? Yeah. Tony's just making a hole in my barrel for the downpipe. There we are. Okay, brilliant. Right, you're going to go and fix it now?
I'm going to cut the pipe down.
Oh.
Wrap around.
Oh, like tape?
No, wrap around.
Oh, what's that for, the gutter?
Yep.
Oh. Oh, you made it all dirty.
Huh?
You made my nice water bottle all dirty. Ah, I'm sure the rain will wash that off. Unfortunately, it's going to get warmer over the next couple of days, but we're going to then end up with about 10 days worth of rain. So although I can plant things, it's going to be a bit wet. Should fill my water butt up though. Do you think I've got enough stones here yet?
Yeah.
I want a thick coating of gravel, so if I find a bit of garden fabric to go over the top to stop all the gravel falling in, I can fill that back in. So you're going to work out where to cut it and rejoin the pipe. So what do you do, cut this piece of pipe in the middle now to
yeah.
because obviously you shortened it quite a lot, haven't you? And then rejoin the two together.
That's it.
Brilliant. Oh, you can't find your mark.
Where is it? That's
I
right.
don't know.
Where's that wrap round, please?
What is that then?
It's a
Feels a bit like leathery stuff.
It's usually we used to make them out of lino and things like that.
I was just going to say it looks a bit like lino,
Yeah.
linoleum.
An old pipe fitter's trick.
What did you say that was?
That wrap round.
An old pipe fitter's trick.
Yeah.
That was your trade, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Pipe fitter. Right, Tony's chopped off a piece of pipe. Well done. And I'm still filling this hole in. I've covered it up with a piece of weed suppressing fabric over the bigger rocks. Now I've just got to rake the stones back over to cover it up. Right, nearly there.
Yeah.
I'll make a cup of tea shortly when I've done this bit. There we are, I've covered that hole back in. It's not perfect, it still goes down a little bit, but it saves a great big hole for me to fall in and twist my ankle. Oh, well, it turns out that when Tony cut the piece of pipe, it went slightly oval shaped instead of round, but we've now managed to get it back inside the piece of pipe, which now goes into the back of the water butt. Tony's just got to fix some brackets up. Is this the last time it's getting fitted?
Well, I'd never say that.
Okay.
Okay.
So what keeps it there?
What keeps what there? This?
Yeah.
The weight of the water.
It hasn't got any water.
Well, then when it has water, it will stay.
What I'm saying is, so I have to make sure it's always got water in it.
No, it's fine, it's fine.
Will it not blow away?
No, it won't blow away.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know, do I? It just... I'm hoping it's going to have lots of water in it. Yeah, how does that work? Is that like a screwdriver thing? Is it meant to have a handle on it?
Yeah, probably comes with a...
There's 210 litres there. Well, not a bad size one. Oh, did it have a handle?
No.
Oh. So would you put it on and turn it with the screwdriver then?
Yeah.
Oh. Just so someone can't come along and steal your water. So the lid doesn't blow off, no?
Yeah. That's it.
Excellent, thank you, Tony. So now we just sit back and wait for it to rain. It's meant to rain tomorrow. There's no point in me putting water in it, is there?
No.
It's not gonna Unless we had a gale force wind, it's not going to blow away, is it?
No.
Okay, I'll just wait for it to fill up then. Please click like if you like it and subscribe if you haven't done, because that really helps. So where the tree man had the cherry picker out here, he dug some big ruts in the lawn because at the time it was very wet. So I don't know if you can see behind me, and I'm busy round raking it, trying to break up the earth and level it out a little bit so I can seed it. So I should be doing that. Tony's busy making balustrades. So you can see that I've already started raking over down here. Levelled it out quite a bit, and the grass is quite patchy anyway. So yeah, I'm going to sprinkle some extra compost in, fill some more of the holes in, tamp it down a little bit, and then seed it. So we are due some rain, which will be good, because that can keep it watered. And then after I've done this patch, which is the bit by the river, I'll then move on to the bigger patches over on that side. Anyway, you get the idea. I'm going to put it on, speed it up a bit for you now so it happens all really quickly. There, that's better already. It's not going to be perfectly flat, it's not meant to be a bowling green. It's just meant to be flat enough so that Tony can comfortably mow it. But now we're going to have to seed it and keep it watered for a few weeks before Tony will be able to cut it. So it's going to look a bit scruffy for a while, but hopefully the whole lawn will green up and it'll be much better. I'm going to carry on doing the rest of it. It's quite a bit to do. Well, earlier on while I was filming, my battery ran out, so you'd seen enough of me running around anyway. But I've actually finished filling in all the holes. I've raked up what I could, filled in the holes and levelled them as best I could, and it's all been seeded and it's all been watered. And I'm hoping that we get a bit of rain as well, because rain obviously will make it grow quicker. It's always better than watering it with a hose. Plus the fact it will save me a bit on my water bill. So we are due some rain. We are due some rain according to the weather forecast for the next few days. So it would be good if we get some overnight and it gives it a good soaking. Although I've actually given it a really good soaking. So yeah, I can't wait to see it all greening up again. Obviously Tony won't be able to cut the grass for a long time. He'll just have to leave it for a few weeks while it settles. So we'll just have to put up with fairly long grass. But yeah, actually the actual grass is actually looking greener just for a good water. We had quite a lot of rain yesterday, as you can see by the state of the river. That's really flowing fast. Come out into the veggie patch. Now this bed here at the side of the garden where the wall is with the ivy, I have pulled out a lot of brambles and ivy off this wall. That's an ongoing thing. I quite like it with the ivy on the wall, and it's only a garden wall, it's not structural, so we're not worrying about that. We're pulling weeds out because at the moment weeds are absolutely going mad. I'm going to use the daisy toppers for the sticks that Margaret made me. The really pretty ones, the pretty china ones. Well, I've already used them, but I've taken them all off for the time being because I wanted to demonstrate to you what I used to do, which was flower pots, which does work to a degree. It reminds you that there's a stick there so you don't poke your eye when you're trying to weed, but they easily get blown off in the wind. Pretty flowers. That's not why I came out. I came to update you on how Tony's getting on. Now, doesn't that look different where he's rendered around that window? He's now doing around the doorway. Now, this bed here is where I planted asparagus earlier this spring. As you can see, we've got lots of beautiful asparagus fronds. Now I can't pick this because when you plant asparagus it has to have a good couple of years growing to strengthen up, so you have to let it just grow. So when you don't pick it, it turns into these very pretty ferns, which will also be nice for some flower arranging in the future. And what I wanted to show you is that this is where I have all the sticks, and this is where I've used those lovely stick toppers that Margaret made me. So thank you again for those, Margaret. They look really pretty all dotted along the garden here. And believe you me, I have not long weeded this bed, and that saved me poking my eye quite a few times. Anyway, I have thank you to say to someone else, and that is Rosemary Coco. Anyway, thank you very much. She sent me some lovely seeds for some squash plants. Some unusual squash plants that aren't easy to get hold of. And I've planted them, and some of them are just popping up. These are a patty pan, a summer squash. On this end, oh, those are some butternut. Those are ones that I bought with some of my Buy Me a Coffee money. I treated myself to some seeds. While we're here, you can see how well my French beans are doing. I do have quite a few little black insects on at the moment, but I don't think they're doing them any harm because we have actually got some of our first little beans developing on there. So it won't be long before we're eating an awful lot of French beans, which I absolutely love. Just in a couple of days, look at the size. Anyway, let's show you the rest of the seedlings. Oh, these are my cabbage plants behind that net, and some broccoli, purple sprouting broccoli. That's to protect it from the cabbage white butterflies and the caterpillars. Alright, over here I have courgette, and I have some more courgette plants coming along behind there. Here we have something called Celtus, not quite sure. It's the lettuce family, and you don't eat the leaves, you eat the stalks. Apparently they're meant to be like a similar to asparagus. It needs to get bigger before we eat the stalks on this one. Lettuces now are coming to an end, those ones, but I have other ones coming along. Peas, well, these are actually mange too. Now, I am getting lots of mange too, but so many so that we haven't eaten them all. So I'm also getting peas, and then I'll be able to save some more. So these were grown from the ones I saved from last year, so these didn't cost me anything. And I've got a second batch already planted. So yeah, so a good supply of mange too at the moment, and some fresh peas when I can be bothered to shell them all, when there's enough of them that have gone too far, but I think maybe this weekend. Now my potatoes, I've got quite a lot of potatoes out here. They're all doing really well. They're dying back a bit now, so it won't be long before we start digging a lot up. I've already had a few, and I've planted them in sacks mostly. As you can see, these ones are ready to come up, so I shall do a reveal on those as I undo the sacks. That's given me a lot of extra space. I've got some along here that as they start dying off like that, they tend to be ready to dig up, although they can stay in the ground. So as you can see, onions are doing really well. I think those will be coming out soon. Well, they haven't fattened up that much, but some are going to seed, so it has been very hot. My herb garden is doing really well. I've got chives, I've got some fresh parsley, oregano here. This is lavender to attract the bees. And yeah, look, the sage flowers, the bees are loving those at the moment, although there aren't any here for me to film. Rosemary, all the usual suspects. I have planted, some sorrel. I have planted basil in there, but it keeps being eaten. So I try not to put anything on this garden. This is all totally bio. I have just noticed I have got coriander planted, and there's a little seedling just coming through, but again, they tend to come through and then get eaten. So I might have to pot some. Right. These ones here that are looking all yellow and brown, they're meant to, because that's garlic, and they will be harvested soon. In fact, I've already pulled up a couple to see how they're getting on. This is the Chateau again, the lettuce. This one's ready for eating, if not past ready. See the lovely stalk on there? You cut the leaves off and you use the stalk as a vegetable. Well, I still haven't tried it, so I think this weekend I might show you a recipe with that if I can find one. Then I've got the usual suspects in here with regards lots of cherry tomato plants, some peppers, spring onions, white onions, beetroot. I've got some carrots in there, some more lettuces there, celery at the back. Over here we've got white onions. These ones, they're not growing very much, although they're doing okay. These are physalis, or a Chinese gooseberry. I think they're related to the tomatoes, but it's a fruit, the little orange ones that have a papery shell over them. Rather like those. And then I have some more lavender, obviously, to attract the bees, and there's been some other bulbs flowering in here. Not quite sure what these are, but the bees have liked them. Anyway, so I have runner beans. And these are all just beginning to flower. I'm not sure if any beans have set yet, because they don't tend to start with. Haven't actually seen any. Let's have a little look. Beautiful flowers. Also under there I've got some little lettuce seedlings. And a weed. We'll get him later. But yeah, it won't be long and I'll start having runner beans. Over here, these are some more of these lovely seeds, all these seedlings here. These are the seeds that were given to me by Rosemary Coco. They were sent via Stuart and Patrick's, so they received a lot of seeds, and some were requested to be given to me and Tony. So thank you very much, that's a lovely thought. I've also got another squash plant. I'm not sure if that's a courgette, maybe. Oh, these are nasturtium. These are spinach, but they're going to seed now, so they need to come out. And some leeks that have gone to seed or gone to flower. That's going to be beautiful and attract the bees, and then I can collect some seed. So yeah, I'm already harvesting loads of stuff, and there's loads more to come. Oh, I have cucumber plants. There's some here, and there's some in the other bed over there. I'll show you. Yes, over here we have cucumber plants here. Oh, it looks like we've actually got some little cucumbers hopefully forming on there. Don't think the bottom one's going to work, but the top one probably will. Oh, these are celeriac. So we have little celeriac plants all coming up. I showed you the French beans, but there's so many, look. I just love it, yeah. I still have a few seedlings to go out. There's a little bit more celeriac on the top there, and there's some leeks down the bottom and a few flowers that I'm not sure what they are. Oh, I have some more celery over the back there next to the rhubarb plants. Over the back there I have kiwi plants. Oh, and then through here, under all this netting, I have loads of raspberries, a few strawberries, and some currants. I had to rescue a baby blackbird from there the other day because I haven't put the end on yet, so the birds can still come and go. So they are helping themselves a bit, but I don't mind that. It's nice to see the birds. Oh, we will be doing that this weekend, I think, putting the net on. So there you have it. Oh, the grapevine in the background is doing really well. So lots of goodies to come. I do have a few fruits on my miniature fruit trees. Not sure we're going to gain a lot this year. I have a few blueberries there, but the birds usually get to those before I do. I've been planting a few more flower bulbs and things in the actual veggie patch because obviously it attracts the bees. Oh, I've got a weed there. I need to get rid of that. And of course I still have lots of wild strawberries. Look at these, they're beautiful. And there's so many. Again, the birds have been eating them, but then I love to see that. I have different types of raspberries. It's a bit of a jungle in this bit actually. Oh, that's mint. And then all these little strawberry plants along the bottom here. So many strawberries. Aren't they pretty? Just while we're here, by the way, I've shown you a lot of little wild strawberries, but this isn't one of them. This is a faux strawberry. How similar do they look? Now, they're not poisonous, but they don't taste very nice. But they've even made their way into this bed because the leaves, as you can see, the leaves are very, very similar to a normal strawberry plant. But they're slightly rounder. And they don't hang downwards. So if you find these growing in your garden and you think, oh, everyone raves about those wild strawberries and I really don't like them, they might not be wild strawberries, they might be these. And I'm pretty sure that's the name for it is a faux strawberry. Still very pretty. Yeah, I've just spotted some other strawberries in here. Foliage. Also have some more seedlings in this bit. These are some mixed beetroot, some more tomato seedlings, although it may be a bit late in the season for those, but they're the big tomatoes. Next to those is some more basil, and on the end here, unfortunately getting very chewed, are some radish. I've had no luck with radish. Some little creatures keep chewing it to bits. So the bulbs will man up a little bit, but yeah, it's not great. If anyone knows what I can do about that, that isn't a bunch of chemicals, that would be helpful. So there we have it. We're in June now, and the garden is in full swing. Unfortunately, so are the weeds, so I'm doing an awful lot of weeding, although it might not look like it. Particularly in the gravel out the back here. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that garden tour. I'm certainly enjoying working in the garden and eating things from the garden. So, thank you again for my garden presents, my seeds and my cane toppers. And thank you to anyone who's bought us a coffee, because I have used it for a few gardening projects. So if you'd like to help, you could always buy us a coffee. No commitment there. But thank you to everyone. Please click like. Please click subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you again next time. Bye. Well, I'm in my kitchen. Just been out to the Potager. And I've picked a few things. Now, I've started shelling peas. I've already had some breakfast with some raspberries and wild strawberries. There's a lot more out there to go and pick, so I'll probably pick some of those later. And I think I'll make those into some jam. I've had my first harvest from my French beans. I've picked them really small because they're very tender like that.